Hey guys, I'm Warren. In today's video, we're gonna talk about empty blocks on the Bitcoin blockchain. First of all, let's look through what are empty blocks. Empty blocks are blocks that are found that does not include any transactions on the Bitcoin blockchain. They're usually produced by mining pools and caused by various reasons. Here's an example of an empty block. It is on the block height 847904, and you can see that the size of this block is slightly smaller compared to its previous and next block. And also, it does not include any transactions, excluding the Coinbase transaction. So let's look through the scale of empty blocks. There are about 10% of empty blocks since the creation of Bitcoin. Most of them are usually caused by two less transactions in the early years of Bitcoin, with the proof of almost 80,000 of the first 100,000 blocks being empty. Now let's sort the blocks by pool. Now, since there is a possibility that pools still are possible to find empty blocks, even though there are unconfirmed transactions in the mempool, the question now is, are empty blocks a universal thing for pools to find, or is it an issue that specific pools have? Three graphs are presented in the next three slides, indicating known pools, total blocks, empty blocks rates, and total empty blocks in the past 2 years. So first, this graph shows the percentage of empty blocks mined during the years that Bitcoin are presented. So it is from the range of 2013 to 2024. And here we have a cumulative number of Bitcoin blocks found by pools. Each line here represents a pool. The range is also from 2013 to 2024. Now we have accumulative empty blocks found by pools. Each of the color represents a pool, and the range is from 2015 to 2024. Now, as we look through the blocks by pool, two graphs shows below indicates the total blocks found by pool and the total empty blocks found by pool. From the information indicated above, we could indicate that empty block is not an universal thing around all pools. Some pools on the market never produce empty blocks. For example, Foundry USA, as the largest pool on the market now, has never produced a single empty block since its creation. Here we have a chart representing all pools and its empty block rate. We can see from the top of the list that Ocean and Spider Pool have a slightly higher empty block rate compared to a normal average pool rate. So now, we have a conclusion on our observation from the pool side. So from all the data above, we could make an index for the empty blocks. Pools that make an empty block rate that is equal to the network frequency will be shown as 1. Pools that make slightly more empty blocks relatively compared to the network will be shown as more than 1, and pools that never produce empty blocks will be equal to 0. Now, we have a relative frequency of empty blocks mined by mining pools. And we have in this chart two very slightly intentionally red bar, which is by Ocean and Spider Pool. Now we have a historic perspective. Now if we add a rolling average to the empty block before 42,000 block, four major pools: Elijah's, now Ocean, F2 pool, BW pool, and pool has a slightly higher empty block rate, about 5%. Since block height 42,000, only Elijah's and N pool have 1,000 blocks rolling average, which exceeds the 5% level. This graph shows what I mentioned above. And now if we add a time and frequency of empty blocks to the indicator, we could see that usually blocks that arrives within the first 15 seconds of the previous block creation, the block is usually an empty block. So now we have a more zoomed in range of time frequency blocks and empty block chart. So now let's make a final observation of the time, which is if finding a block after the previous block was found, time is larger than 10 seconds, then it is usually not an empty block. And if the time is less than 10 seconds, then I would say usually there is a pretty high chance that the block found is an empty block. So here we have a frequency of block interval by pools listed, sorted by different pools. And so from the previous slide, we can make a comparison to the total blocks found in the first 60 seconds of a block is found. Empty blocks are represented by the white lines in the graph. It is very clear that the numbers of blocks and the chance of finding a block for a pool is significantly reduced in the first 60 seconds is not sending out empty block templates, such as Foundry USA and MetaPool, comparing to pools that do so, and pool and so much more for the first 10 to 20 seconds. And now let's group pools by their empty blocks. Group 1, we have 0 empty block groups, which are represented by Foundry USA, MetaPool, Pegapool, NiceHash, Ypool, 1T-Hash, TerraPool, Titan, Solo CK, Zulupool, Kano, OKMiner, and mempool. Then we have group number 2, normal frequency of empty blocks, which we have Mpool, F2 Pool via BTC, Binance Pool, Luxor, Brains Pool, Poolian, BTC.com's, SBI Crypto, EMCD Pool, Autism Pool, SCC Pool. Then we have group number 3, which are high frequency of empty blocks, which are represented by Spider Pool and Ocean.xyz. Now let's zoom into the specific pools and groups. So we're never going to have a chance to know if pools is sending out empty blocks templates or not to a miner, unless the pool are transparent like Ocean, which shows their template to all miners. So we will be filtering out pools that have a relatively small share of blocks to the network to minimize the chance that they do send out empty blocks, but does not have the luck to find one in its entire history. Thus, only 2 pools are still eligible in this group, will be Foundry USA, MetaPool, Pegapool, 1T-Hash, and TerraPool. And we have group number 1, which are the shortlisted pools. These pools have been shortlisted and have a share of an accounting hash rate of the network for more than 33%. And statistically, it is impossible for them to not find any empty blocks in the past 24 months. None of these pools found a block with a block interval below 2 seconds. Then we have the average pools. These pools are the major pools that are used by many miners. They regularly produce an acceptable amount of empty blocks. These pools regularly find blocks with a block interval below 2 seconds. However, they also continue to find empty blocks after a significant block interval. Npool, F2 Pool, via BTC, Binance Pool, and Luxor all found empty blocks with a block interval greater than 20 seconds. Looking at block fees and a percentage of the total block reward for the past few months, we see that the value is typically below 10%, excluding the temporary spike around the halving. Then we have group number 3, which are the abnormally high ratio of empty block pools. There are only 2 pools that are in this list, which are Spider Pool and Ocean.xyz, formerly Eligious. We're not able to explain the exact reason behind Spider Pool's high empty block rate. There might be some connection issue on their server side or on some of their major users that caused a lack of sending out full templates. Ocean's issue is very clear. Due to their explanation, they send out clean job equals false after sending out the full block template. They have a full reasoning chain behind this, and we might be able to talk about it later. Now we can go to our conclusion. In conclusion, sending out empty blocks is beneficial to the pool because it has largely enhanced the possibility for a pool to find a block within a period of 20 seconds of the previous block that has been solved by another pool. In fact, it is impossible for 2 pools to find blocks with a short time if they do send out only the full template to miners. However, as a percentage of miner fee increase in the total amount of rewards, it is also reconsiderable for these pools to think if they should still give up miner fees for the extra 20 seconds of chance finding a block. So Basically, sending out the empty block templates might decrease the chance of finding a full block. Alright, so this is all we have for today. Thank you for watching this video, and I hope you liked it. If you liked the video and feels like it helped you, please like and subscribe. We're going to talk about more interesting subjects about cryptocurrencies, investment, economy in the next videos. Thank you, and hope to see you soon.